The thumb gusset is about deep enough now, and there's 11 pairs of stitches, including the stripe on either side. So I'm going to pop those onto a piece of yarn to hold them. I'm just overlapping the needle with the taper and just pushing the stitches onto my darning needle. And I'm going to go all the way. And the last pair on that needle actually belongs to the palm of the mitten. So I'm going to just slip them onto that needle and pull my yarn through. And now I'm going to try this on. That gusset gives good coverage about 2/3 of the way round the thumb. So I've planned to add about an extra 6 pairs of stitches to bridge the gap here. I've prepared in advance 2 waste yarn flaps, and these are going to be my substitute stitches so that I can go back to working in the round on the mitten, palm and back. So I've arranged these little flaps. They're just stocking stitch in 2 colours that are not used in the mittens. I just happened to have a circular needle around when I was doing it, but I could equally well do these onto similar sized double points. So I'm sliding the 2 pieces to this end, and now I'm going to put them into double knit format. And this is also a method that you can use to make a provisional start for a headband going around the head that you might want to graft the end to the beginning. So it's a provisional way of starting double knitting. So I'm taking one from my front needle, one from my back needle, front, back, and there I've got a piece of double knitting. So it's another way that you can turn single knitting into double. So I'm going to get hold of my mitten again and place this replacement stitches or temporary stitches, and they're going to build a bridge . They're going to build a bridge across the back of the thumb. So I'm just debating what pattern I'm going to do across these stitches, but I think I'm going to do the first pair green in front and red in the back. Oops. I'm working another project where I'm using regular rotation purling, so I have to remember which project I'm working on. Now this one's going to be red in the front, green in the back, and I'll do the next 4 pairs this way and end with a green in the front. That way, when I get rid of these gusset stitches or these extra stitches, I can taper it back to green, and that will make a continuation of this line that started down here. Now I'm back to knitting in the round. I've only got 3 needles in the work at the moment, so I'll just work a few stitches before I introduce my other needles again. I prefer 4 in the work and the 5th to knit with, and it's a pattern round on the palm. So I'm trying to hold that needle with the waste yarn stitches up close so I don't get a bit of a gap there. Oops. And now I'll work all the way around till I get to the thumb again, and we'll see what happens as far as reducing away those 6 stitches. I've worked all the way round, and now I'm nearly back at the thumb gusset. And I'm just going to keep the pattern exactly the same. I'm not going to make any decreases yet. As I get to the end of the replacement stitches, I'm going to work the first couple of stitches from the next needle onto the needle with the gusset on it. It'll help reduce the stress on that corner, and it's going to be much easier when we start doing the decreases if all the stitches relating to the thumb are on one of our needles, plus a few on either side. When you're working double knitting, you really should take the time to invert the knitting periodically and check the inside for mistakes, because it's possible to make mistakes on both sides. In general, I catch mistakes as I'm working if I come across 3 stitches the same colour side by side, or I've worked an orange stitch as the first part of a pair and an orange stitch as the second part of the pair, then I say, whoops, I probably did something wrong on the second side. So just like that. So then I can fix it, but there's nothing like inverting the knitting and taking a proper look, and I'll do that in a minute. It's easiest to invert when you've got approximately equal numbers on all of your needles, and make sure the stitches are not near the tips, and I'm flipping it inside out, and then we'll take a close look. It's lovely and very different on the inside. So far, no mistakes. I got lucky. So I'm going to flip it back again and continue back to the thumb.